difference between being grounded and ungrounded to help you awaken the root chakra. First of all, during this video, be aware, be awakened to the Shaktipat transmission that is coming through this video. Just allow yourself to feel the energy flowing. You can focus, if you wish, your attention to the root. First of all, awakening the root chakra. The root chakra is where the linga of Shiva lies. And when it is activated, it can also activate the Shakti energy, which rises up the Sushumna to connect to the crown chakra and fully awaken Shiva. Do not take this activation lightly. And if you do feel ungrounded at any time, please stop and work on the things that we're about to talk about here. So what is the difference between being grounded and not being grounded? Not being grounded can come in the form of things like depression, anxiety, feeling uneasy, uncomfortable, perhaps even resulting in physical pain or just general uneasiness. When we are fully grounded, we feel warm, we feel comfortable. And this enables us to go into higher states of consciousness as Shakti rises. So we can go high while still being very grounded. If you do feel ungrounded, this is a sign for you to work still on your shadows, on your unconsciousness, on your subconsciousness, because it is telling you there are still things that you haven't worked through, blocks that need to be cleared. Now, these blocks can also be cleared through energetic healing practices. If you wish to attend any of those practices, I offer free sessions once a month on theawakeningenergy.com. Come check them out. If you wish to go deep into training to awaken your Kundalini fully, also you can find trainings on my site. But just for now, bring your awareness, your connectedness, embody this energy, allow the flow, feel the root. In yoga, it is said very clearly, if we talk about the chakras, we must first overcome all fears before we awaken the root. We must also overcome desire and ego before we raise higher than the first three chakras, before we can then embrace higher states. So just allow and receive the Shaktipat transmission. So we go through the process of awakening the energy. Always be aware throughout the day of when you feel grounded and when you feel ungrounded. Become aware of what has triggered that feeling of feeling ungrounded. So you can then work on those triggers. Because until we fully work through all those triggers, as I've said, of fear, desires, ego, our beliefs. It's always not going to be the safest thing to do to play with these energies. So please be aware of this. If you start to feel your body becoming warm, and you still feel grounded and comfortable, this is the perfect place to be. So just sit in your awareness, connect to the energy. Let it flow. These energies can be very subtle at first, because they are the subtlest of subtle energies. Shakti, the energy that rises up the spine, is not to be confused with either sacred sexual energy or pranic energy that can also flow through the spine. Shakti energy is connecting the microcosmic circuit within your body to the macrocosmic orbit that connects us to Shiva and consciousness. So just be still, become the observer of the process. Allow the monkey mind to become simply something you observe. For if you are in the state of the monkey mind, looking out, you'll never have any control. And you'll always be at the stage of having to identify being grounded and ungrounded. When you are fully grounded, as the root chakra, the Muladhara, activates, you will feel a calmness, a connectedness, two states of non-duality. Because Shakti and Shiva aren't Shakti and Shiva. They are Shakti Shiva, one and the same when we unite them, to create a flow towards states of bliss, connecting us to our higher abilities. These higher abilities, of course, include deeper intuition and things that we could call clairvoyance, telepathy. All very natural things for the human to be able to do. Of course, these things are not things we want to necessarily focus on, because we will get distracted from connecting to the ultimate reality that is Shiva, a state of everything yet nothing, pure awareness, pure being, a state of calm and bliss. Of course, understand the body needs to purify itself as we go deeper, which can result in spontaneous kriyas where the body moves, the release of emotions, It can come in the form of coughing or crying or shouting, or just sensing emotions deeply. Happiness, sadness, release, relief. The more ungrounded we are, the more dangerous this becomes. The less control we have over our energies, the more dangerous this becomes. And this is why in my trainings, we work this to connect and control the separate energy frequencies running within the body before we fully awaken. So do not be in a rush for everything to happen now. If you can feel a warm sensation now in the root, in the hips, in the pelvis, this area, which can also lead to feeling a pressure in the head, or slightly dizzy or lightheaded. This means that the energies are activating. This also means you need to have done all the previous work in preparation for Shakti. I get many people coming to me in ungrounded states of anxiety, pain, the inability to sleep. And all of these stem from being ungrounded, from not doing the previous work necessary before going deeper and further into these energies. You have been warned. But for those who have done the work, for those that are serious about going along this path, and don't just do it as something to be accomplished, a fun experience, because it may not result as so. But for those who are ready, those who are willing to fully embody the energy, this is for you. As we're here now, your breath starts to change naturally, perhaps even forming a spontaneous pranayama. Or if your fingers move into spontaneous mudras, those hand positions, this is all normal. As well as the spontaneous kriyas that can happen, just allow everything. Fully embody, fully embrace. Allowing ourselves to become ever stiller, going ever deeper. Feeling sensations within the root. Perhaps even noticing that coil around the linga of the coccyx. This is, of course, a metaphorical expression, not a literal one. Shakti Shiva, Kundalini, through Shaktipat, is a very powerful thing for those who are ready, for those that have a spark. This can fully ignite that spark. So again, heed my previous warnings. Understand what Kundalini syndrome is, the dark night of the soul. Be prepared for these things. Put in the work that needs to be done. Also be aware that there are those out there who might claim to do this or other forms of energy transmissions that are still working on themselves, still working the path. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm just saying be aware of those. Because perhaps unintentionally you might receive things that you do not wish to receive. For an unstable master is going to create a lack of stability within your process. So always make sure you do your research on the people, on the masters, on the gurus, before delving deeper with them. Make sure they are fully grounded and their energy is pure and clear. So that light that is awoken from that spark is divine within itself. Feel free to leave a comment down below of your experience of this video. Remember, you can come back and repeat it. Also, feel free to share this with anyone who you feel might be interested. If you wish to go further with this, check out theawakeningenergy.com. Come take a training with me or try a free group session. Or sign up for regular group sessions. I'll see you in another video.